Hello, my name is Alfonso Gomez. I'm a licensed real estate broker, owner of Gomez Real Estate Solutions, and I'd like to thank you for visiting my website. This is going to be my very first video blog. I'm going to be updating these every week to week and a half with any news that are relevant to the real estate industry that I think is important to all consumers, buyers, sellers, and even real estate professionals. So let's get started. The first topic I'd like to talk about today is the economy as it relates to the real estate industry. Now, a quick note. I will be highlighting articles that are going to have links at the bottom of this video. So I welcome you to listen to my video blog and then click on the link to read a little bit more about what I discussed. I will be giving you my thoughts and opinions about what I've read. The first article that I'm highlighting this week is the economy. The nationwide economy has absolutely increased. Consumer spending has gone up, and overall the economy as a whole for this country has gone up. But that has not translated into less foreclosures or people that are just falling behind on their payments. What this means is that, unfortunately, though the overall economy, the nationwide economy, has been getting better and improving, unfortunately, homeowners are still struggling to make their mortgage payments. Obviously, this leads me to believe that it's employment. Employment is a very key factor. At the beginning of these foreclosure waves, what we saw were mortgages that were option arms, interest only, adjustable rate mortgages. That was the biggest hardship that homeowners had, and that was the reason that people were losing their houses. Now what we're seeing as real estate professionals are people losing their houses because they're losing their job. Either their hourly rates were decreased, their hours were decreased, or they completely got laid off. And now they have a financial hardship because they can't make their mortgage payment. So, the first article is about that. It's about the economy as a whole. Unfortunately, it hasn't translated down to the people that are struggling making their mortgage payments. The second article I'm highlighting this week is the fact that the home sales have gone up and continue to go up in the last 4 to 6 months. This is a very key statistic. For all the people out there that are thinking about buying a house, even if you're thinking about selling your house, this is very important. Listen up. There are a lot of buyers out there. The houses that I've listed don't stay on the market very long without offers. You will get offers. The delays typically are because they're short sales or foreclosures. 60% of the sales here in the Southern California area are typically foreclosures and short sales. So those do take a little bit of time. But that still leaves about 20 to 30% that are regular sales. Those don't take any time at all. You submit an offer, the seller has 2 to 3 days to respond or whatever the contingency is. Nonetheless, it's a great time to buy. If you're thinking about buying, now's the time. The next article I highlighted that I'd like to discuss are the record increases in non-performing loans. It kind of goes back to my first article. People are not able to make their monthly payments. My opinion, again, the unemployment rate is extremely high, especially here in the state of California. And that, in my opinion, is one of the reasons that people are falling behind and not able to make their payments. Now, there's another reason that I believe that we saw a spike in the non-performing loans. At the end of last year, 2010, we saw a big scandal in what is called robo-signing in the real estate business. What that means is that lenders were allowing foreclosures to go through their system without somebody physically reading the details of the actual foreclosure. They were just rubber stamping every possible house that can be foreclosed. Now, unfortunately, there were a lot of homes that were foreclosed illegally. Now, to people like myself that do this every day, that's not really news. But to the average consumer, homeowner that's in distress, that's unfortunately very upsetting news. So for that reason, when the government started to discover, and by the way, it was a court case in the East Coast, I can't remember the state, there was a court case where somebody sued their lender because they were being foreclosed illegally, and that's where it was discovered that all these banks are doing robo-signing. FYI. Nonetheless, What happened in that at the end of last year is that all the foreclosures, many of the foreclosures that were scheduled to sell or go into the foreclosure process were either delayed, stopped, or completely taken off the sale block, so they can assess to make sure that the foreclosure was legit. Now they actually have gone through the system, gone through all their files, gone through all their paperwork, and are starting to put all those properties back into the market as non-performing loans. People are behind on payments, and now they are in foreclosure. For that reason, in my opinion, is why we have a spike, a record increase in non-performing loans. The next topic I'd like to discuss is the government and the real estate industry. Because of the colossal failure, specifically about loan modification programs, where the government instituted these programs, the government is now beginning to assess and consider completely taking those programs, either eliminating or modifying them. Now, they've done a lot of modifications to these programs. Again, specifically loan modifications. And in my opinion, it was a complete colossal failure. Only 3 to 4 to maybe 5% of homeowners that applied for loan modifications actually got approved. And of those, the loan modification itself really wasn't that good. Statistically, of the loan modifications that were approved, 50% of those ended up in foreclosure anyway. Why? Again, to my point, the loan modification really wasn't that good to begin with. That obviously has got a lot of discussion in Capitol Hill and the possibility of eliminating or modifying government-backed programs. My opinion, at the beginning of the foreclosure wave, I was absolutely on the bandwagon to get the government involved to help homeowners. I thought that was a great idea. Now, I don't think so as much. Not so much. Unfortunately, the programs that were instituted really didn't help the homeowners. They got into these trial modifications that went on for 4, 5, 6, 7 months, a year and a half of trial modifications, only to be upset or disappointed at the end when they were rejected. My opinion, once again, they just didn't work. So that's a good article, good reading, and for all of you guys that are out struggling out there, don't bank on the government for too much help for too much longer, because I think they're going to start to eliminate those programs. The next topic, the next article that I highlighted this week are the FBI crackdowns on mortgage fraud schemes. Now, I can only hope that the FBI and our government is always looking out for our best interest. Maybe it was because of these waves of foreclosures why the government is starting to ramp up their fraud divisions and start to go out and get these mortgage schemist criminals that are breaking the law and taking advantage of homeowners. Whatever the case is, the FBI across the country is absolutely cracking down on people that are committing mortgage fraud. Good for them. I absolutely encourage homeowners, home buyers, professional real estate people to report any illegal and any suspicious activity to the authorities. The last topics I'd like to talk to you about are just safety and preventative stuff regarding your house, your mortgage, your process of buying. This week I highlighted two articles. The first one is the 5 keys to escape a house fire. Let me tell you something. I've actually read these articles before, but I was so happy to see them again. Why? Because they refreshed my memory. I had forgotten to do these drills, these plans, the things that we should all do, but we forget. We do get complacent. So I absolutely encourage you to read the 5 keys to escape a house fire. I have the link at the bottom of the video. The last article that I'm going to be talking about today are the 4 tips to avoid foreclosure scams. I'm going to give you a 5th. Use us. We're experts in helping people that are in the foreclosure process. We absolutely can help you free of charge, no upfront cost, no fees to you. Nonetheless, read the article. There's some good advice about how not to get ripped off by scrupulous individuals out there that are trying to take advantage of vulnerable people that are behind on their payments. Last tip of advice that's not on there, use a licensed professional. Very important. I thank you for watching my video blog, and I encourage you to come back and visit my website to get more information of any real estate news and updates. Thanks again, and we'll talk soon.